Fractions, decimals, and percentages are all very much related to each other. What does percent literally mean? Percent means per is out of, and cent is out of 100. So percent is literally the ratio out of 100. So when we think of percentages, fractions, and decimals, we have this proportional equation. We have some percentage. We know that that percentage out of 100 is equivalent to some ratio A over B. And it follows the proportional equation that there are these multipliers, up and down multipliers and divisors, and left to right multipliers and divisors. And the multiplier going up is our decimal percentage. So this one in particular, this is our decimal percentage. So this multiplier that we find vertically here is going to be the decimal percent, and we can use that as a multiplier, and essentially that becomes something that we're going to call a unit rate. To set up the percentage calculations, we're going to set up our percent ratio. So 35% is 35 out of 100. And of 22, well, we have to decide, is the 22 the 35 part or the 100 whole? So 22 in this case is going to be the whole. I'm going to find a multiplier, and I can use a left and right multiplier. I'm going to use our decimal percentage multiplier of 35% and use that over here. So if I take 35% of 22, we're going to end up with 7.7. Okay. And so we can solve it in this way. We can also, if we are really good with our how to set up this problem as a times or divide, we can say that 22 times our decimal percentage, and that's going to give us our 7.7. We can do this as a multiplying problem as long as we're very clear when we're going to multiply, when we're going to divide. So what percent is 39 out of 44? So we're looking for some percentage, some unknown percentage. And 39 is our part that goes with our unknown percentage, and 44 is our whole. So in this case here, we can just divide those two to find our decimal, and that will actually give us our decimal percentage. So 39 divided by 44 works out to be about 88.6%. So I'm going to round that to 89%. And this ends up being our decimal multiplier, or since our decimal multiplier is our decimal percentage, we can convert that to approximately 89%. So here we have 30%. It says that 55 is 30% of a number. The 55 then represents the part, and the number is what we're looking for, our whole. We have our decimal multiplier here, which is our decimal percentage. And since we're going to go in the opposite direction, okay, so this is our bottom to top multiplier, we're going to go in the other direction, so we're going to end up dividing. So we end up with x equals, if I do 55 divided by 30%, I get approximately 183.3 repeating. This could also be done using our times divide method. Again, we have to know have to be very clear if we're going to divide or times by our decimal percentage. And our calculation looks like this, and it's approximately 183.3. Sam is 78% of Ben's height. So Sam is 78%. Sam is the 78%. Ben would then be the 100%. We need to then compare heights. We're going to compare the 140 centimeters to the unknown height. We have our bottom to top multiplier is our 0.78. So again, I want to go from the top to the bottom. So in this case, I'm going to divide by 0.78%. 140 divided by 0.78 works out to be 179, and I'm going to round that to 0.5 centimeters. So showing that as a multiplying or divide problem, we have 140 centimeters. We're going to divide by the percentage this time. And that gives us approximately 179.5 centimeters as our height. So this is our calculation off to the right. It is important to know how to set up this proportional equation. Our up and down multiplier from bottom to top is our decimal percentage. If we are not sure of whether we're going to divide or multiply by that decimal percentage, we can put it in our proportional equation. We can see very clearly the directionality of our proportion. If it's in this case here, our up and down multiplier decimal percentage is 0.78. So from top to bottom, we're going to divide. And we can see that here if some of you have some rules which we can use to determine whether we divide or multiply, that's fine, but make sure that you're clear and understand how it fits into the proportional equation.